by Mitch, Randall, and Trey Vaval. Vaval. And Coach Hoffner, sorry Trey. Mavericks prevailing here in the home opener 17-10. Start off with a couple comments from Coach Hoffner.
Thanks, Paul. Really appreciate the fans that came out. Almost 6,000 people paid witness to that football game. I think it was an old-fashioned classic football game where quarterbacks were running the ball like Mitch and their quarterback was running the ball. And then you had an exceptional return by Trey here, and that was the difference in the game. I thought both defenses played pretty darn good football and held the opponent to 10 points each, and then Trey had a big return, and there was a lot of people leading him into the end zone, and that was a different unit than last week who helped him have a big return. So last week it was more defensive linemen and linebackers. This week it was pretty much all DBs who led the charge, but Trey's got exceptional skills. He's very good in space, and so is Mitch. Mitch broke a lot of tackles today, and our plan was to run the football, and we felt like we needed to run the football. Would have liked to have ran it better, right? But like I said, I thought their defense did a pretty good job, and let's talk about the elephant in the room. Our defense and Coach Glow and how many snaps they took and how well they did defending the Bulldog offense. You know, last year we gave up 30 points and scored 10. This year we scored 10 again on offense, but we only gave up 10. So stellar football game. You're never as good or as bad as you think you are. You got to keep grinding, and it feels good to be 1-0, and we're going to enjoy this for 24 hours, and then we got to get back to work.
Just to add to that, Coach, look at how many points he gave up last week too, so to bounce back from that.
There you go. Yeah, it's you know, an exceptional defensive effort. We're playing a lot of guys on defense. Offensively, maybe not so many. There's some things that we need to look at to keep trying to put Mitch in positions to make plays, but 0 turnovers, right? Today, 0 interceptions. Big improvement for him from last week where he did, you know, throw an interception. So for him not to give them momentum and turn the ball over, right, I thought was very good. And talking about the defense again, you know, the quarterback from Bemidji led a comeback again against Augustana. They went for 2, tried to win the game, and unfortunately they failed on their 2-point conversion. So we feel good that we played a really good Bemidji team. Unfortunately, they're 0-2. And I think this Duluth team is really good, and I think we may have put a little physicality on them. So, you know, there's going to be a lot of soreness, but that soreness doesn't feel so bad when you win the football game. Right, guys?
Better question.
Mitch, sorry. You got kind of thrown into the game last week, you know, on the fly. This week you had a whole week to prepare. What was the difference for you? Did you feel more comfortable today, or?
You know, there's always preparation. You know, you just got, if you're not getting physical reps, you got to get the mental reps to practice. I think getting those physical reps, you know, this week helped me a lot, but also Hayden Eckern, you know, he went down last week, but he's been nothing but a positive teammate to me. You know, we watched film every day this week, especially with Coach Hoffner. He's taught me nothing but good things and what to look for, and nothing but positivity. I think that was the difference maker this week too, as well as the exceptional play of the offensive line and the receivers going up and making plays too.
Mitch, kind of building off of what he asked, we didn't really get a chance to see you play in a lot of games last season, and then getting thrown in on the fly last game. How important is it to you as a player now to step up in a big game like tonight and be able to make more of a name for yourself playing basically every snap?
You know, it's huge. Like Coach says all the time, you never know when your moment's going to come. You always have to be prepared for it. Like, it goes back to the mental reps in practice. Last week we didn't think Hayden was going to go down. I found a better way, you know, to control the offense tonight rather than last week being thrown into that game. But like I said, you always have to step up and be ready for that opportunity.
So your game plan coming into this game was that you would probably run the ball a lot. You expected that?
Yes, yeah. We knew they had a good defense. We knew it was going to be a physical game. We like things more running the ball, I would say, because they have really good coverage on the outside. So we just took full advantage of that.
Coach, how important was it to have those first two big plays at the beginning of the game in terms of setting the tone and setting the pace of the game?
You know, I thought it was crucial to, we did go 3 and out, right, in the beginning of the game, but, Trey's huge return really ignited us, got us going, really helped us, do a lot of really good things and relax a little bit on offense. And then I think we mounted a really nice drive on that second drive. And, one of the things that I thought Mitch did really well is, we ran a healthy amount of option. And for him to read his keys and understand what they're giving us and what they're taking away, I thought his touchdown run was also exceptional. Broke a couple tackles, cut it all the way back, found pay dirt. I don't like that he put a ball away from his body when he got to the goal line, but he really wanted that touchdown really bad. But we're proud of him. We're proud.
Trey, talk a little bit about the actual return. I mean, you got the ball to 15 and you kind of started up the middle and then you veered to the left. Did you see right away that you were going to have some room on the left-hand side, do you think?
We just call it a middle return, and usually on that set, they usually kind of just make something happen for real. So I just hit the middle, and just solid. Only thing you need a return is just a little bit of daylight. You give us a little daylight, and we hit it and take it to the races.
Coach, we've seen 2 unfortunate injuries this year to Sleazer and Eckern. How have you been able to build sort of a next man up mentality with the guys, especially away from these 2 injuries?
It's been interesting, our starting tailback, starting quarterback, starting center, and one of our third tight ends, I don't know if they're all season-ending injuries, but they're unavailable. And, when Mitch spoke earlier, it's about, who's up next, right? Next man up. And that's the mentality that we have to have. And I'm really happy for Mitch. I hope that he continues to improve and get better. He did a lot of really good things, rushing for 99 yards, right, on 25 carries. Him and I are going to talk about the 26th carry that he probably could have got over 100, and who knows what would have happened. But what a gallant effort. He was really tired, took a lot of hits. He's definitely going to need that ice bath tonight, tomorrow, and all the way up until Tuesday. But really proud of him. And you have to understand that you never want injuries to happen. And those 4 young men, a couple of them are going to have surgery, maybe all 3 of them. And, one young man we're hoping to get back. So, when they're unavailable, we can't, cry in our soup. We got to have guys like Mitch that want it and want to be great and are willing to step up. And I think Trey stepped up today and helped our team too, along with the defense. So it doesn't matter how we win, right? We just want to win. Obviously, we'd like to score more points on offense. But if we win by 1, 7, or 70, it's irrelevant, right? We just want to win the football game, and our goal and our mission is always to go 1-0. And I thought these guys were crucial in our ability to fulfill that destiny.
Playing a team like Duluth where they alternate their quarterbacks the way they do, does that put extra pressure on your defense, do you think?
Did that remind you of the Mavericks at all?
Well,
we used to major in that, right?
Yeah.
Since 2014, and this year we got away from it in the first game. Mitch came in after an injury, and Mitch is our guy. We're going to ride him throughout the season, and that's just the way we're going to roll. But speaking about our opponent and bringing that 2 quarterback system in, it was very effective for them, right? I thought the young man that was running ran pretty well. I thought they both, took a lot of hits. Mitch took a lot of hits. So when you're doing +1 football and you're trying to take advantage of that extra hat, the extra gap, all that kind of stuff, it becomes, how long is your quarterback going to last? But, today we put a lot of footballs in Mitch's hand, and he delivered, and the football that was fortunate in Trey's hand really allowed us to come away with the victory, and that's all we're looking for.
Coach, in your years coaching, you look at your team, and obviously Duluth's got a bunch of injuries too. Have you ever seen 2 teams this banged up this early in the year?
It's interesting that you say that. I don't know, the rules in preseason changed a little bit, And they're, you know, I think our guys will tell you that we were pretty physical, right, throughout fall camp, and doing a lot of physical type of things. But it's shortened, right? I think we only had 12 padded practices. We had 5 practices without pads, right, or shockers they call them, where you're not supposed to run into each other. Normally, you know, we get to 21. So you might be onto something. Mr. Beisman and I, our athletic director, had a conversation about it at the luncheon yesterday, and he, you know, brought it up. He goes, "Do you think that has something to do with the shortened preseason and practices and this and that?" And I said, "You might be onto something. Every team's different. Every team does things differently. Every year is different. Every week's different. So I guess I'd have to see the national averages and the injury reports, but you hit the nail on the head. Our 2 teams have definitely been, you know, victims of a lot of crucial injury."
One more question if anybody has one. All right, thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Congratulations.
you.
on getting that
Thank you
win.
guys for coming.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good job, guys.
All right.
Good job. Hit that ice bath.